The world is not vulnerable enough. Everybody's not like, people aren't self aware these days. People don't care to be self aware. I have new music out. I have an album out. It's the biggest project I've ever, done. It's called Pact, Poetry and Sax. And that's the point. We're fighting perfectionism using vulnerability, being vulnerable with ourselves, and we're using art to help facilitate in that process. So I believe that if everybody overnight decided to become more self-aware and commit their life to growth, or at least understand that growth is a lifelong process, the world would look like a better place the next day. I think people are so focused on what's going on around them and other people that sometimes we're not looking inward. So I don't think we should be vulnerable with everybody and all the things. I think we should be vulnerable with ourselves. There's so many limiting beliefs that we carry that affects our actions and behaviors that no longer serve us. Okay? So things happen to us when we're younger or throughout our lives, right? Like traumatic things that are we rightfully develop these patterns of behaviors to help us through those moments, but they don't serve us as we get older, right? As we heal from them, or maybe we don't allow for ourselves to heal. These are things that anybody can understand, at least on a basic level. And then we can use the tools that we have available to us, like therapy. If you can't afford therapy, which is super unfortunate and jacked up, like me, right? I can't even afford it. There are other tools that we can use. There's so many tools. It really takes the willingness to want to address those things. And to me, that's why I wrote Pact. That's why I came up with a concept, because I want to encourage people to be more vulnerable with themselves, to address those things on the inside. That's how you're going to lead a better life. And I figured poets do that really well. I started as a poet. My very first time getting on a stage and reciting anything, it was a poem. And I developed into this. Poetry was a great gateway into all of the arts for me. And I'm not saying that's going to be the case for you. But what I am saying is that if no one else can do it, poets can do it. So I decided to approach a bunch of poets that I find to be amazing who are in my local area and say, hey, let's collaborate. You write a poem about this topic, fighting perfectionism using vulnerability. I'll put some saxophone behind it, maybe layer some other sounds, because I ultimately want to be able to push that message that you can achieve anything that you want with the power of discipline, knowledge, and taking action on that knowledge. There's so many ways you can acquire discipline. To me, I root everything. I believe in self-discipline, discipline of the body, discipline of the mind, and creative disciplines. Okay? So that's why I'm a personal trainer. I really do that for my own disciplinary purposes, because being healthy and living a healthy lifestyle is very important. That I meditate, I read, I feed my mind, I pursue a peaceful state of mind at all times. It's really important. But a creative discipline that you love, that you can lean on to help you become more vulnerable is just as important. Just as important. So I want to do this and bring the poets, some of the collaborators from the album on here so that they can explain why they decided to write about what they wrote about. How is that you getting vulnerable? How is that you telling people to fight perfectionism using vulnerability? What is your pact? Right? What is your pact to yourself on a daily basis? The pact being, I'm making a pact with myself to be as vulnerable as I can be with myself every day. How vulnerable do I have to be today to be my best self? And that doesn't mean being vulnerable with everyone around you. That just means being vulnerable with you. If something happens and you're feeling some kind of way, take a look inward. I do think that there are plenty of tools out there for people to use from professionals. And I want to help facilitate that process of encouraging people, hey, you can grow. You can live a happy life. You can take back control of your life in the ways that you deserve to. And I personally think that we need to use the arts in order to do that. So, yeah, that's what this is all about.